we just had a good question. Joel had about if you put in, you know, the problem that we had where you had to put in and format it with 10 characters with the asterisks before them. He was wondering, what if you want to enter a comma at the beginning? Like, let me see if I clean this board. Hopefully, so it says enter. You know, enter whatever your value, and say you enter this, right? And you want to print that out in 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to have 2 asterisks, and then 11, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what do you do if you get a comma in there? He was wondering. So what we did was, we said, okay, enter the value. So we said x equals just input. Enter as whatever, enters value. And then we said new value, and we used the replace function equals x dot replace. Here you can replace a comma with nothing. So that'll get rid of the comma in this string, because this is actually a string to start with. So now new value is still a string, and it looks like this, right? So that's how we got rid of the comma in there, because that was going to mess everything up. And then we converted this to a float, right? We could say new value equals new float new value. That'll convert it to a floating point. And then we just did the formatted print of that. And that was new value colon, we had a star greater than 10.2 F. I missed something. There we go. So this is how you put leading asterisks, right justified, in a field of 10 characters with 2 decimal points. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 10. So that's what that does. That was your assignment, right? But this way you could actually read a comma if you get rid of it with replace. All right, we've got a few minutes, and then I'll let you guys go. So you guys, when you're writing your own code, you can, instead of handling exceptions like we just did, we handled them, right? We had up here above, this is called handling exception. And now we can raise our own. So this is handling it right here. We're saying, hey, if something happens, we're going to handle this exception with the except. We're going to say except value error. When I get a value error, I'm going to print this out. So this is handling it. Now we're going to raise our own. So you can actually print your own error messages instead of the built-in error messages by raising your own exception. So you could say something like, hey, if this is the denominator, and you're saying if the denominator is less than 0, then I'm going to raise the exception and print this out, no numbers below 0, okay? Or if I say x is hello, and this is saying if not type of x is int. So this is saying this will be string. Is string an int? Not, remember that negates everything. So this will be type of x is a string, is int is not, so this is false. Not false is true. If true, raise the type error, only integers are allowed. So I'll just show you how this works, or you could type it in too. You can actually do this in the terminal window. So let's clear this, fire up Python. I'll say x is, what was the very first one? Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at it. If x is 0, raise this. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this out. All right, so there we go. So I'll say x equals -1. Okay. Okay, so there you go. So I raised my own exception. I said raise exception, sorry, no numbers below 0. Oh, I didn't put the if in there, but here's the exception, sorry, no numbers. So I've got my own words in here now. So I can give my own error messages in here by raising my own exception. Does that make sense? But I think I forgot the if. Hang on. Yeah, if x is, okay, so I forgot to put that in. So let's get back one more time. Okay, so x is -1. If x is less than 0, I'm going to raise the exception. I think I got that pasted here. Okay, so there it is. Raise exception, sorry, no numbers below 0. When I hit enter, there we go. So it's got a trace back and then my own little error message now. Sorry, no numbers below 0. Which is pretty cool, right? So you can just do your own exceptions, write your own little code. And I think we had one other one, right? Hello. Let's try that one. Let's say x is now hello, the string. And we said if, what was it? Not type x is int, right? I think. Is that what it said? Yeah. And then we're going to raise exception. Sorry, must be numeric values, whatever. Okay, let's try that. Yeah. This is kind of, this lingo here is a lot of negatives. So remember, not only applies to one thing. So you've got to figure out type, and remember type of x gives you the type. Is it an int? Is it a float? Is it a string? So is it saying, this is the string, string is int is false, not false is true. If true, raise the exception. Right? It's a little bit confusing. All right, so any questions on what we covered today? I'm happy to stick around for a few minutes if anybody has questions. I don't have to rush off and coach. We're all done coaching. So anyway, see you guys. Have a good weekend. Thanks for coming.